Hey friends, I have a special announcement for you. Something fun and enriching opportunity that I'm very excited to share with you. On August 26th at noon Eastern Standard Time, I will be celebrating Women's Equality Day as I explore the topics of allyship, mentorship, and women's empowerment with our special guest, Shantara Chapman. I invite you to join us. You can do so by looking in the show notes and clicking on the link to register. Welcome to the Nurture Small Business Podcast. I'm your host, Denise Cagan, president of the DCA Virtual Business Support. At DCA, we believe in small businesses and the families they support. Learn more at dcavirtual.com. Hey everyone, this is Denise Cagan, founder of DCA Virtual Business Support and the host of Nurture Small Business Podcast. We're going to have Elizabeth Cullen with Misfit joining us. We're going to be talking about fitness. You know, as business owners, we're on our butts a lot. So Elizabeth is going to talk to us a little bit about, hey, beautiful. Elizabeth is going to talk to us about how to stay fit as a business owner. So she is the founder of Misfit One. She's a health strategist. I know firsthand how beautiful, amazing, kind, and positive she is. It is no wonder that you've achieved some of the things that you have achieved. Oh, and by the way, I need to share this with you. She calls my team She-Rose. I love it.
Yeah.
They love it.
We are She-Rose.
Welcome to the show. How are you?
I am absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for having me today. I feel so honored. I'm like,
look, you're deserving of the spot. You and I had talked a long time ago, actually, about potentially doing a podcast. And for whatever reason, it just never came to fruition.
Right. Time stands still for no one.
It sure doesn't. So before we jump into, staying fit as a business owner, I have a question to ask you.
I'm here. Come on.
What is barrel racing?
Barrel racing? Come on, city girl.
What is barrel racing?
You don't know barrel racing? That's like the most exciting thing in the rodeo. That is a competition in a rodeo where it's girls and guys, and the girls compete against the girls, but you sit on your horse and you go around the 3 barrels. One, you have to turn around this way, you got to turn back, and then you got to race on in home. Barrel racing.
Oh, okay. I'm not even going to tell you what was in my mind. Never mind.
Now I am dying to know. What were you thinking?
You know how people that do the Loch Norman Fest things and they do curling and they do this hoop? I was thinking that you were doing something rolling a barrel. Literally
barrel rolling. But I like that literal thought of, like.
I should be embarrassed by the thought, but it's actually pretty funny.
I think that should be an event. I think that would be quite entertaining, actually.
So how long did you compete as a barrel racer?
I was a barrel racer before I could walk. So I was riding horses before I can even walk. And my dad would sit me on the horse and he would just yell out the commands, and I just held on really tight. So I remember doing it literally before I can walk, but I remember winning and all that when I was probably about 5, 6. I was in it. And even though I went through all the way through junior high, I have scars to prove it. So I was going into high school when I was like, yeah, okay, I'm over it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So tell me about your journey. So barrel racing was a hobby, it sounds like. Or were you trying to make it a career?
No, I was a kid. I had no idea. It was a hobby for me. It was serious for my dad. You know what I'm saying? Like,
gotcha.
They took it serious. I was like, sure, what I do,
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had a huge transformation. So I kind of want to talk a little bit about your journey. Where did you go from barrel racing out of school, and what brought you to the point where this transformation was necessary?
That's a very good question because a lot of people don't realize I was born and raised in Beaumont, Texas. And I turned 18 in San Diego. And that was where I've been until now, which is about, I think I've been here 8 years now in North Carolina. But what brought me on that journey is several things. One, though, I just really was a big dreamer, always a dreamer, always loved to read. I actually used to get in trouble for reading because I'm supposed to be doing something else, and I would hide in the bathroom and read. And they know you're not in the bathroom that long. They beat on the door or go back. So I was a really big dreamer in a very small town. And I just kept saying, I know I'm leaving this place. One day I'm going to go out in the real world. I'm going to go out in the real world. And when I was 18, I got the opportunity. I was married actually at 16. And at 18, we moved to San Diego. And that's kind of when I began the journey of myself. Right. Because in Beaumont and all that, I was always the baby. I'm the baby of the family. I'm the little cousin. I'm this. And I really wanted to be my own entity, my own identity, if that makes sense.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Yourself.
Yeah, I was always somebody's little sister or so-and-so's little cousin, or, it was never just me, my name, right? Elizabeth. Nobody said that. So it was really important for me to establish myself in the real world, I thought, right? Because Beaumont was very safe for me. My whole family is there. I excelled at school, but why wouldn't you? It's Beaumont, Texas. Like, come on, give me a real challenge here. Let's do this. And then and when I went to San Diego, I was married. I had a little kid, and I wanted to really establish who I was. But who knows who you are at that age?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes in your 40s and 50s, you have no clue still.
Right. You think you figure it out like in 30s, like I got this, and then 31 hit you like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, help me, right? Help me. And so that was pretty much my whole thing. I went from thing to thing, but friends have always said that I have always been a person that cared for my body. I remember I would say things like my body is my temple because I didn't drink. I'm like, no, I'm not drinking that. You crazy? My body is my temple. And I was a young kid saying that, which is funny. I was in my teenager year, and when everybody was partying and all that, I'm like, get out of here. My body is my temple. I'm not going to do that. And so I've always been an athlete. And then when I came to fitness, and I started really making this a career, it was very difficult transition for me because I was the breadwinner for my family at the time. And I was in a real estate broker. I had my own company. It was, very lucrative in California. So we were, doing very, very well. But I was I know I had to be over 250 pounds. I know it for a fact. So I want to say I was almost like 300 pounds. And, but life was good, but I wasn't in my healthy space. So I was making lots of money, but my body was not happy at all. And when the 2008 hit, that was when I decided, like, listen, this is a great chance for me to kind of back out of this that I hated, and I can do something. And I was actually at the gym working out when I was like, what could I do? What could I do? Oh, if only it was a sign, And that was it. I was like, oh, maybe I could do this workout thing as a living. And that is how Miss Fit One became Miss Fit One.
So let's back up a tiny bit.
Yes.
You had this dream, and I'm using air quotes, dream career, very lucrative, but it's also being a broker. It's high stress, very fast. You're at people's, very emotional people because they're buying and selling. You're at their whim, yes. Evening, off hours, 5 a.m., whenever they want. Just talk to me a little bit about, that part of the journey. And it sounds almost to me like you might have maybe burnt out a little bit? I don't know, or just really developed some bad habits during that time?
Well, here's the thing. I never really had good habits. Let's get that correct. You know what I'm saying? I was an athlete in Texas. So what does an athlete in Texas do? Eat, right? They want you to eat. You know, you gotta be big, you gotta get up. I mean, they didn't care what you ate.
Fill up with carbs.
Yeah, you just eat. So I never had good eating habits because I didn't know what that was, right? So while going through this whole real estate thing, which by the way, I only did the loan. So I was a mortgage broker and I owned the whole thing, and I had 40 agents that worked for me and I did the loans for everybody and ran the whole. It was insane. Insane. And like you said, people were emotional. I was great at it because I can talk them down, get them through this process. We'll walk through it one by one. But it was horrible on me because, I mean, if you look back at my career, you could talk to my kids. I was always with them, but not with them. So I always had the phone. We're at Disneyland. I got the phone. I'm taking notes. I'm making calls. I'm doing this. We're, you know, on the beach. I'm still making calls. I got to run and see somebody. It was always me working. And you're right. People were very, wow, I have a 5%. Like, oh my gosh, you got a 2 credit score. You should be happy you got anything. Like, I'm working with you on this, you know. And so I was fed up and frustrated, and I didn't eat well. And funny that you say how stressful they were. It was also my stress, right? I took on everybody's emotion, and then I have kids. It wasn't like I'm this carefree, willy-nilly single woman out there. You know, I had a husband and kids. And what was so crazy about that is that I would let them go to school. I worked all day, picked them up. I started eating thin, Denise. So catch that, right? Like that.
You started eating what?
Intermediate fasting, right? Yeah, because I'm all day, because I was busy all day. I was working. I'm busy. Go pick up my children. Of course, we stopping at McDonald's, KFC, whatever. And I ate all evening. Then I woke up the next day and repeated. So I was eating so poorly and even wrong times. So I never really learned how to eat.
Wow. You know, I have a dear friend of mine. You could be describing her literally.
Out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of us there. Yeah.
Yeah, you could be describing her, and I'm not going to call her out for sure, but I love her dearly. I hope she's listening.
That's okay. No.
Okay, so you got to this point where, you know, you realize, like, I'm working out, and I'm burning out. Can I make a business of this working out? So tell me how a little bit more how that evolved.
So what happened was that was right around the time that I was like, I got to get my life together, like health together. My money was flowing. I always say money is attracted to me, right? I've never had a hard time making money because I'm very smart. I'm not afraid to say that I'm a very smart girl. And I will make money because it's just who I am. So I had to focus more on making myself healthy. That's not easy. That was a job within itself. So what happened was I was going through this process and I was getting sick. Everybody have heard my story by now. I know I was getting sick of eating. I was eating Church's chicken every day for lunch. And I would get sick every day from eating Church's chicken. But did that stop?
But you kept doing that.
Yeah, no, that didn't stop me. Yeah. Maybe it's this next day, right? So bottom line is they had to take out my gallbladder. I was having horrible heartburn, had to take out my gallbladder. So that was my aha moment. That literally was the moment that I said, yo, they're taking body parts out of me. Body parts. You know,
like,
God doesn't give you spare ones. just in case you know what I'm saying? Just in case you lose a bone, he got a backup bone in that same spot. Doesn't work that way. I mean, I'm sure my body will function without it, but I really want the parts that God gave me. Remember, this is my temple, you know? And so when I went in for the surgery, I was too big to even be weighed on a normal scale. So they had to put me on an industrial size scale. And I looked at it and it was like 247. Everybody was so quiet. And I looked around and I was like, I'm going to lose 100 pounds. And everybody kind of chuckled, you know, but everybody was uncomfortable. It was an uncomfortable moment. And me being me, trying to make everybody at ease. So it's like, you know, right? And it must have resonated with myself, truth, because I did. I went on, when I got through the surgery, I went and took all kind of courses. I went to a lot of therapy, a lot of everything to figure out what is going on with me. And I took like 3 months as a rehab time, right? Like I was in a rehab center, I guess, but I kind of kept away from everybody and just focused on, because I didn't have the strength to go out and eat with people and not get the wrong thing. And you know what I mean? I wasn't strong enough to do that. So I had to isolate myself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally get that. You know, there'll be times where I'm like, I'm going to abstain from this, you know, and usually it's wine.
Right.
And then we go somewhere for dinner and I'm like, oh, shoot, everybody else is drinking. And they're not necessarily pressuring me. It's just, it's there and it looks fun because that's the way we've always associated fun and celebrating is with food and drink.
I love you said that right there. That, you know, nobody's forcing you. And I've always said that no one has a gun to your head saying, eat all that pizza. You better eat every slice of that pizza. No. No one ever does that. No one is saying you better drink that wine.
Nope.
But it's us. It's us who talk. I did it so many times. I'm going to go to McDonald's. I'm going to get the salad. I'm going to get the salad. I'm going to get I said that every time until I got up to make my order. I would like the Big Mac and large fries and Coke. I'll make that a Diet Coke because I forgot. You know, I did it every single time. But I did my whole talking to myself and all this. But it's crazy. It is crazy until you shift your mindset, which is key to all of everything you do as a businesswoman. We focus on our business. We focus on our craft. We'll work at that. We will study it. We would go to sleep with it. We wake up with it because that was going to make us money. That is what's going to make us successful. But we don't do that for our health.
Okay. So you're going to tell us a little bit about how as business owners we can start prioritizing our health.
I love that. Because as a business owner, if you are not taking care of yourself, you're not taking care of your business, right? And it's little things, little bitty things that you can throughout the day that can give you some clarity. A lot of times we get stressed, overwhelmed throughout the day, thinking our time is running out. Oh my gosh, I got to finish this, you know, and what happens is, let's just think about how we breathe, right? And I am so crazy in love with our breath because I was talking to my son about this. He goes, how do you teach somebody how to breathe? I mean, we're born breathing. And I'm like, yes, we are born breathing. But I find myself, I'm a very shallow breather. Do you know, are you a shallow or deep breather?
I'm a shallow breather.
Right. I'm a shallow breather. And that's because I'm always going to go, gotta go fast, gotta go, gotta go. Have you noticed like shallow breathers are the people that's always moving? And my mom always tapping my feet, gotta go. Because that is how I breathe. People who take those long they're usually mellow, right?
Mm-hmm.
They talk slower, they move slower. And I'm like, wow. So if we can get that in between, it would be great. So if you are a shallow breather like me, whenever you are overwhelmed or find yourself just going, take 1 second to just close your eyes, take a deep breath in through your nose, hold and exhale. Just one.
You know, I do exactly that anytime I go into any type of conversation that I perceive as going to be difficult.
So,
You know,
me, is that how you breathe?
what's that?
I said, so when you're about to talk to me, you take that deep breath.
No, you're one of the easiest people to talk to. You know, anytime I'm going to a conversation, like if I have to correct an employee or I have a conflict with a client, I mean, that happens. That's business.
Yeah.
It's business.
Yeah.
You know, those things do happen. Or, you know, just, you know, we have to negotiate over price and I don't, you know, really want to because I don't think I should have to. You know, that's a stressful thing.
That's a perfect example of let's do the 4x4x4, right? So 4x4x4, everybody knows that it's powerful and it's not something that you have to do over and over. You could just do it one time, stop, see how you feel. You could do it before a call, like you say, a presentation, or even if you want to eat something that you know will probably hinder you instead of help you. If you take time to do the 4x4x4, and when I say that, I'm sure everybody knows it, but let's just walk it through.
Let's pretend they don't.
Yeah, you pretend you don't. So you're going to inhale for 4 through your nose. Go inhale. 3, 4. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. Now, you would really be discounting yourself if you don't think it is a powerful tool that you can do at any time. This has helped people stop smoking. It has helped people who have panic attacks. It has helped so many people break bad habits, which I use it for anxiety. You know, I get worked up. It's one of the simplest things you can do. And I love just saying to myself, breathe in, breathe out, right? You don't have to think of a mantra. You don't have to overthink it. Simply breathe in, count 4, hold for 4, and exhale for 4. Now, if you're somebody who's really laid back and they have to get that fire going before their meeting, because unfortunately, if you go to a meeting and you are talking like this, the energy level in the room will exactly match. Right. So you're going to want to get yourself pumped up a little bit, you know, listen to your music, do your stuff, and then just do shallow breathings. Right? So I'm holding my chest because my stomach is doing it. And
that brings your energy level back up.
It's bringing your energy level back up. And then you go, oh yeah. So you can also do that at that 3 o'clock snack time, that 3 o'clock time where I start dozing off. You know what
should be siesta time.
Yes. So you want to give yourself that extra energy and get you through the day.
That's a great idea. I love that. And so you talk about breath as far as breaking habits. What has it done for you as far as, you know, diet and exercise? Because, you know, one of the things as business owners, we sit on our butts way too long. Okay. I can honestly tell you my tailbone hurts right now. It hurts almost every day. So how does that breathing impact all those things?
Too long, Miss Denise. What happens is, you know, it's a simple thing. Just move. Literally just move. A lot of times we are working from home nowadays. So we tend to bring everything to us, right? Oh, we'll get our lunch, bring it to our office. Why are you laughing, Denise? Is that
No reason. Yeah, I literally eat breakfast at my desk just about every day.
see what I'm saying? So that's one thing you can do different. If you actually have to move, even if you sit in your kitchen for breakfast and then walk to your desk, right? Get up to get water. Oh, look at that. You're moving again. Walk to get water. So I know people get those big, huge gallon things of water so they can get their water a day. That's great, but I can't do that. I feel like I can't accomplish nothing. I'm like, oh my God, I've been drinking this for so long and I'm not even making a dent in it. And I psych myself out. So I just get a regular, let me see if I can grab this. Oh, you see, just a regular container for water. Now, this, you would have to get up and refill this.
About 8 or 9 or 10 times.
Absolutely. And that's fine because you are moving. I want to talk to you about exercise snacks. Have you heard of those?
Yes. Yeah.
Exercise snacks is great for a business owner, someone at work. It doesn't take a long period of time. Just take 1 to 2 minutes. You can walk up and down the stairs at your home or your office. You can walk around your block. You can walk from your couch back and forth. You can do lunges, steps. You can do anything. 2 minutes. Push-ups. Anything. Just move. Oh, do you guys hear that? We're having a lightning and thundering going on over here. It's pretty.
I actually did hear that.
My dog even looked up like,
what is that?
Yeah. But it is important to, and I think the most important thing for business owners is to set themselves up for the day. And not if it's by at night going over the things you have to do. So in the morning, you don't feel as rushed. But take like 5 minutes to meditate. And when I say meditate in the morning, nothing. You can pray. They got great little apps. They got all kind of things that you can do for 5 minutes to know that, wow, okay, I'm good. I can do this. Your mind is the sharpest, the first thing you do in the morning. When you wake up, your mind is the sharpest. So you don't want to fill it with BS right away. You want to fill it with positivity, right? Like that's a great time to do some affirmations, or I meditate and then I do my devotional. It's important to really take time for yourself and in order for you to give to your business and other people. Because if you don't take care of yourself, you're really doing everybody a disservice. And so eating well, like you said, it's not rocket science. We all know what's good and what's deemed bad. And so just ask yourself when you're eating your food, is this going to help me? When I say help me, I mean help me live that's right, you can't pour from an empty cup. Is it going to help me get the health goals that I want to achieve, whatever that is, or will it hinder me?
Right.
And listen to yourself, because
I was just going to say, listen to your body. What you were just saying about I was eating church's chicken every day and it was making me sick, but I kept eating it until this break point.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I wish I was that wise. It's crazy how it is lightning and thundering. I did yoga outside in my backyard today. It was beautiful, beautiful. Now it's like not so much.
I wonder if I think those storms are headed up here. I think we're supposed to get them in the evening. So I'll be getting them soon. So you have this goal to lose 100 pounds. Tell me about it.
Okay, so I really didn't know what to do, but I've always been an athlete. Working out has never been a problem for me. I actually enjoy working out. I love it. Even as a size 24, I was the girl at the gym at 5:30 in the morning working out. Never a problem. The problem, however, came with my eating. I was really good at that. I was really, really good at eating. So I had to learn how to control what I'm putting in my mouth. I'm going to go back kind of to what we said before. You know, nobody puts a gun to your head and make you eat a whole pizza. Nobody tell you to have that wine, but you feel that it's a social norm that you do not want to miss out. Why is it a social norm? Well, that's what we created for ourselves, right? I always try to tell people about the iceberg. You see the tip of the iceberg. And a lot of times we feel that's what we see. You know, oh, I need to lose weight or I need to do this. But under those levels is a lifestyle change, right? And people are starting to go a little deeper now and know it's a lifestyle change. Yeah, I got to do this for life. But there's several other layers down that people never get to. And the base layer is your cultural norm, right?
Those are the things you grow up with. You know, great aunt so-and-so's awesome apple pie. You know, it's all those things that, you know, my mom made amazing spaghetti and meatballs.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I hardly ever make it because it's too big of a dish for just me, you know?
Right. And that's exactly it. What's normal to us. So if it's normal that everybody have wine, it's normal for me to have wine. If it's normal for everybody to smoke, it's normal for me to smoke. So that's ingrained into us at a very young age. It's our culture. They no longer have to be around us, and we will still do this.
Yep.
We will still do this. Yes, rice and beans, girlfriend. Still today, I went to visit my son. He cooked the best rice and beans, and I kept saying, "What's the vegetable?" Oh yeah, okay. Then he put some, but that rice and beans was on every. And that was exactly how I was raised, right? So it's just things like that. So we have to be comfortable within ourselves to go against our cultural norm. So for instance, everybody's drinking wine. You have to say, I don't have to have a glass of wine to enjoy this time with them. They're not going to trip out. They might say, "Did you want a glass of wine?" And you go, "Oh, no, thank you." Okay.
So, you know, I actually have a friend who does get really upset. To her, that is her thing. You know, enjoying food and drink with people, that is her thing.
Trust me, I know your friend very well. It's a lot of people who do, but this is what I say because it was hard for me. I'm telling you. And because they was like, "What, you can't have no wine with us? You can't have no chicken? What, you too good for some fried chicken?" I'm like, "Listen, I don't want any chicken. You used to eat chicken." And you know, the response to that is, "Yes, I did have wine before, but tonight I don't want any."
Just shut it down.
Cuts it down because now they don't have anything else to say. Oh, okay, because you acknowledge that you did, right?
Just shut it down. Don't jump into the argument.
You shut it down, and it's hard because that was one of the reasons I had to isolate myself because my friends were everybody. We gonna eat, we gonna drink, we gonna party. You know, life is great. And we have kids, and we always had, big kids parties and food, and everything was food based. Everything we ever did was food based. So me, had to learn that, okay, I'm here for the fellowship and the friendship. The food is not my entertainment.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I'm here for the friendship, fellowship. The food is not my entertainment.
It is not my.
I'm so going to borrow that.
Yes, please do. And, go ahead and get your food and move on. But the old me would get my food and stand by the food, right? I would be by the food all day. I would always have something in my plate. I would always have, so it's okay. Grab your food and move on. "Hey, so-and-so, I haven't seen you in so long. How are you doing?" Just imagine how your connections would be so much different at an event if you're not focused on the food.
Absolutely. You'd be forced to talk to each other.
Wow. Like that. Yes.
You'd be forced to talk to each other.
Yeah.
Okay. So as we wrap up, is there anything else you'd like to leave with the people watching us or who'll watch later? And also make sure you tell them how they can find you, website, Instagram, and all that stuff.
Cool. Yeah. Well, one thing I want to tell everybody is, listen, being healthy is very, very important. And when I say healthy, I'm not just talking about physically fit. I'm talking about your well-being. And that is what I teach on. That is what I preach on. I know fitness brought me to the game, but wellness is what has kept me here, right? So I've lost over 115 pounds, and I have been maintained that for over 15 years now, 15 years. So
props.
thank you. This is what I teach, and I do creating healthy habits. And we go through the 12 dimensions of your whole self: communication, your stress, your anxiety, the things you eat, the things you don't eat. And a lot of times people think they have to give up something in order to have right. And it's not true at all. You actually gain so much more. So I want people to know that you're missing out on a whole amazing world that you were designed to live by holding on to things that you have versus things that you could have.
So that's deep. Okay. So the course that you teach, or your teachings, it's a course or a mastermind? Remind me.
It's a course. It's 12 weeks.
Is it grouped together as a group of people?
It's a group of amazing boss chicks, because that's, here's the thing. We all have to compete in this male world for our positions. And yet we don't get treated nowhere the same, right? So we are trying to outgun them, outsmoke them. We will not be undefeated. We will go in, we will fight. And we'll do so much, we forget about us. We're taking care of our kids, we're taking care of our husband, we're taking care of business, but we don't know how to take care of ourselves. So that is what I come in. We start creating those healthy habits that you do for the rest of your life. It's not a fad. I don't have anything to sell you. I have no magic pills. It's just putting in consistency and showing up for yourself. Like someone said earlier, you can't give from an empty cup. So we all know when you're on an airplane, they say, put the mask on you first and then help others.
Absolutely. So when is your next group course kicking off?
July 14th, but check me on my Instagram, which is Misfit1, and that's MSFITONE. And it's also misfit1.com, but I think it's July 14th, and you do not want to miss out. This is definitely a life-changing course.
Okay, you all hear that? Check it out, Misfit One. Elizabeth, thank you so much for being here. This has been a great conversation.
Thank you so much, Denise. And listen, I have to say the DCA group are truly sheroes, and I'm loving that. I am loving your new logo.
Thank you. Somebody on my team created that. I was so opposed to having my face on that logo. And I'm like, what if you did a cartoon like? And I was like, okay, I can work with that.
I love it. You guys are awesome.
Thank you. Well, you have a good day. So nice chatting with you and connecting.
Bye, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining me for today's Nurture Small Business podcast, where the focus is on business growth, technology, and people strategies to help your business thrive. At DCA Virtual Business Support, our focus is making your business operations run smooth so you can focus on growth. Reach out to me at Denise@dcavirtual.com if you'd like to learn more.